The 76 team, well, obviously the seniors were the leaders, and we had a trio of kids that had wrestled for 3 years: Keith Nemec, Steve Fiorella, and Barry Kenny, and then Jimmy Moore and John Gallagher, Ken Fonte, Keith Milliken, and then the lighter weights were John Manning and Dave Moore, and then the heavier weights were Jim Reedy and Jay Ramsden, and the heavyweight was a junior named Mike Tomzak. And when they started, and when they were younger, the reason they were enjoyable is because I could beat them all. By the time we got to that probably sophomore year, then it was getting harder and more impossible. And we had tournaments we would go to in summertime, and kind of extending the season as much as we could to advance, and they were all interested. They had great family support from, not just moms and dads, but brothers and sisters and siblings. So that was you knew that was going to be special when you had that kind of support. I would imagine the best thing we had to do, the thing was the winning during the season that we were doing regularly. From the time they were freshmen until they graduated, we were 54-14 in dual meets. You just kind of knew they were special, and so many of those kids went on and wrestled in college and did well. It wasn't just an aberration. We'd won it in '74. We won a city title that year, and 3 of those guys were on that team. So I think that we're kind of indelibly marked that this is something they wanted to repeat to get into the championship. As it turned out, the public school team refused to wrestle us because they obviously had the feeling they couldn't beat us. So that I think was kind of an exciting time for us. Besides the fact that they're a dedicated and very bright group of young men, I mean, I know there's at least one doctor in that group, and as I said, many of those kids wrestled in college. But they represented more than just athleticism. They were good students, they worked hard, and they were really good kids. Now they were really good men.